CIG just gave us an interesting update pertaining to some of the upcoming features in the near future. Make sure to watch till the end because you don't want to miss the last one. Let's get straight into it. All right, so guys, CIG gave us another the second episode of Star Citizen Com Dive, where they go through Spectrum and they go through the most asked questions and they report back with the information they able to retrieve from the devs specifically on those topics. What we're going to do is we're going to go through the key features that we've gotten an update on, and then at the end I think you'll like the last one we're going to talk about. Okay, so the very first one is in regards to quantum fuel, which we've had some insight about a few months ago. CIG has already made a note that they're going to be and they have been updating the quantum fuel for all ships, and they will continue to do so. So they came back with some more information pertaining to how quantum fuel will work, and it says here, for the most part, quantum fuel capacity remains consistent across ships within the same size. However, there are a few notable exceptions where additional considerations come into play. So exploration ships being the first one, it says here, ships with exploration role receive additional quantum fuel capacity on top of their archetype baseline, ensuring they can tackle long range journeys, which makes a lot of sense. The second one is special purpose ships. Now these are the cargo haulers, miners, and other specialized ships, still grouped by size but may have extended fuel capacity to better suit their role. Those are often adjusted on case by case basis. The last one here is component variation. They say here is that some ships might physically align with one size group, but feature components typically found in another. This can sometimes make their quantum fuel capacity appear slightly unexpected, but remain balanced within their design context. All right, so what they're saying is essentially going forward, they're going to be continually adjusting the quantum fuel going forward. They even mentioned that they did one in 4.0, which they did tell us in the patch watch a few months back. All right, so now let's continue on with the next one. The next one is going to be realistic audio updated here. It says here, to deliver a more seamless and realistic audio experience, we've had to improve how we structure our sound mixing. This process is mostly complete, though a few edge cases still need attention. The demo we presented in CitizenCon 2953 showcased isolated test cases that had been reworked specifically for that feature. Now we need to apply this work to the game as a whole, which, as you can imagine, is a significant task, but one we're excited about. While we can't confirm a date, we're eager to get this work fully integrated into the game, as many of you are. So now when they showcased this, one I recall was the way the game sounds. Let's say you're in space, right? During the showcase, what I remember was you're in a cockpit of a Gladius, and the sound of other ships around you sounds significantly different, right? It sounds kind of like you're in a vacuum, and when you're firing your weapon, it sounds a lot different than the way that it sounds now currently. So there'll definitely be some significant changes there. Also, I remember they also showcased when you attack the ship's hull of other ships. So let's say weapon attack from the front side, and also if you're in the back of a ship, you'll hear the sound, and the sound will be different. So when there's projectiles hitting the hull of your ship, you can also hear it too. Each projectile will actually have a sound. So it's going to be really interesting once they have it implemented. So it's good to hear that they're getting close to getting this done. So now let's get into the next one. The next one is going to be vehicles and freight elevator progress update. It says here, it says the team is prioritizing improvement related to vehicles on freight elevators, but first the focus is on improving quality of life aspects of freight elevators to make them more user friendly, such as enabling mining bags to be sold directly from the warehouse. Huge. And the commodity redistribution feature, which will allow players to split and merge boxes more easily. Really nice. I like this. That's big. Another one that they mentioned here is follow-up about the full screen mode. It says the mouse confinement with multiple monitors has been fixed. The mouse was moving onto other screens briefly before. The engine now fully supports playing the game in any aspect ratio on any monitor in full screen. This means it's possible to play with a widescreen aspect ratio on a 16:9 monitor if you desire. So now when you do this, you can expect black bars in the top and the bottom. All right. So another one here, it says capital letters with accent. It says we're working to replace the 2D text renderer, and its replacement should handle accent and ligature better than it does currently. We will let you know when we have more news to share on this. So now the last one is huge. This is one of the ones that I've been really looking forward to, and a lot of the communities actually been looking forward to. And now these are the Volt weapon progress. Finally, we're hearing about the Volt weapons, right? It says here, we're happy to share that we're getting close to releasing the full lineup of Volt weapons into the PU, which makes sense. They've had so much time to work on all of them, so it's good that we'll be getting them, although I doubt we'll get them all in the same release. But let's continue. It says, with most of the feature work for the new ammo and damage types wrapping up, our weapon artists are taking early 2025 to add the final polish to each asset. We're targeting a Q2 rollout with regular releases to follow. Really excited. So we can expect our first Volt weapons mid-year this year. At least that's what CIG says. So it continues to say this marks the beginning of a more consistent stream of weapon content as the weapon team wraps up with their work with Squadron 42 and shifts their focus towards expanding Star Citizen's arsenal. Really exciting stuff finally. So the very first one that they mentioned is the Volt rifle. It says here we first showcased an early version of the weapon at CitizenCon 2953, and while it's evolved since then, its core functionality remains the same, starting as a traditional rifle before transitioning into a powerful beam weapon. For a bit of fun dev insight, one of the challenges we're tackling is how the weapon handles recoil when switching from projectile to beam. Right now, it switches between the two separate recoil records, which isn't something our current tech supports. To fix this, we are improving the system to allow for a smoother transition in between shifting from the sharp, punchy recoil of an assault rifle to a controlled precision of focused beam. This one is going to be really interesting. I'm really looking forward to it. Honestly, I like all the Volt weapons. I'm really looking forward to the rifle. If you haven't seen it, you should go and check out CitizenCon 2953 on the assault rifle. It looks pretty cool, and I really like the way it is. But they said they made some updates to it, so I'm curious to see what it looks like. So now the Volt shotgun, it says this one's a blast. Literally, it heats up and it fires more pellets, making it an absolute menace in expanded firefights. With a large mag size and solid heat retention, it's shaping up to be one of the most scariest shotguns in the verse. But beware, push it too far and you might find yourself struggling at the start compared to a more traditional option. Oh, and the sound right now, it practically rips a hole in space itself. It's incredibly meaty and every shot feel like pure devastation. Really interesting. The next one is also one of the ones I'm really excited for, is the Volt Sniper. It says a terrifying fusion of the Scalpel AO3. The Volt Sniper cranks up its RPM as it heats up, making it a high risk, high reward beast. Mastering its recoil and heat management will separate the deadly from the doom. Those who can handle it will dominate. And if its mechanics don't intimidate your enemies, its sheer size will. This thing is an absolute unit, easily the most imposing sniper in our arsenal. Just spotting one aimed in your direction should be enough to make anyone think twice. Really interesting. And then lastly, the Volt pistol, which is the one I think we've seen the most. It says here the Volt pistol is a rapid fire and its RPM increases the longer you fire it. To account for firing for an extended period, it has a large battery for a weapon for its size, giving you the opportunity to use it in a less powerful state for longer periods, or run it hot to give someone a nasty rapid fire surprise. I also cannot wait for the Volt pistol myself. Hey, by the way, my org mates and I did a fleet battle not too long ago. which resulted in an epic experience that you need to check out. I'll see you in that video right here.